were a team that found ways to create runs, hitting a National League low 67 home runs, but stealing a National League high 200 bases. Coming into this season, new manager Tony La Russa remedied the 95 Redbirds' disturbing lack of power by bringing in Gary Gaetti and former Brave Ron Gann. But even with the newfound power, there's one constant about the team from the banks of the Mississippi.
They're going to create some runs. They're going to try to steal, make something happen, bunt, hit and run.
That's a big factor in the playoffs when a guy go out and steal a big base or take that extra base. Braves are a good ball club, and I think the key to us is just it's going to be our running game and just doing the fundamental things.
Speed doesn't slump.
The 82 Braves, on the other hand, stole 50 fewer bases than the Cards and hit a National League high 146 home runs, led by Dale Murphy and Bob Horner, who combined to hit 68. That's one more than the entire Cardinal roster produced that year. As is expected this year, the 82 NLCS came down to pitching. The Redbird staff, led by Joaquin Andujar, Bob Forsch, and rookie John Stuper, came onto the postseason with a National League best 3.37 ERA. They combined to hold the Braves Bombers to an anemic 169 batting average and no home runs. The Cards swept the Braves in 3. In the present, it's the Braves with a staff full of aces and 2 Cardinal carryovers from that first encounter. No, that changes things a bit.
You do what you have to do to win, and this team has done that. And the team in the 80s, we had our own way of doing things, and this one's different.
We're one of the 4 best teams in the world right now, and hopefully we can wind up being the #1 team in the world.
They're believing they can dethrone the champs. On this battlefield, it's anyone's game. Yeah! Redbird Brian can fly at the plate. Hey, he changes fate. Gant has the answer for that Atlanta chant. What the heck? Denny does some chopping of his own. But for Atlanta, Smoltz is loaded for high noon. That's right. Ryan's just another way to spell yard. Yeah. Now, it's St. Louis.
Chop Shop is again open and ready to rock and roll. Tonight, Bobby Cox in the Atlanta Braves.
Ozzie, last year of a glorious career in St. Louis. Here you are starting the National League Championship game. What emotions are within you?
Well, it's very tough to put into words the emotion that I feel, but I think it's going to be very tough to get more emotional than September 28th when they retired my jersey and they had 52,000 people there in the stands. 3 days after I made the announcement, the place was sold out. So that's the highest compliment a player can be paid. And it's always exciting getting into postseason play, and I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to play in postseason again.
Well, this game, I see it as a matchup of a veteran team that's won recently and a team of veterans who have won throughout their career. How do you guys approach the Braves tonight?
Very simple. It's to do the things that we've done to get to this point, and that's execution. And I think that's a very important part of what we've done all year is we've executed, and it's what has allowed us to get to this point. Of course, I think that with the Braves, they're here because they've been able to execute not only this year but over the last 5 years. And we have a lot of young players who haven't experienced it before, but I think as a veteran player, it's important for us to try and make sure that they understand that they can't go out there and burden the whole load, that it's a team effort and everybody has to contribute.
Score 4-3 Baltimore. Bottom 8. Derek Jeter sends a high drive deep toward right. Tony Tarasco, the outfielder, goes back to the wall. He doesn't leap. A fan reaches over, makes the grab. Richie Garcia says no fan interference. Tarasco said, hey, you're out of your mind. It's ruled a home run. 4-4. A look at the replay shows the fan clearly over the fence to make that play. That tied the game at 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees
play. He feels very comfortable out there on the mound tonight as you see his numbers on the season. Smoltz's numbers against the Cardinals weren't that impressive this season, but it can be traced to really one bad outing. His ERA was well over 6 against the Cardinals during the regular season, but if Bobby Cox had to pick one of his aces, it'd definitely be John Smoltz this year.
Yeah. Central Division, and here he is taking on Atlanta, back and starting. What a year he has had at the ripe young age of 41 years old. First pitch of the NLCS, and it's in for strike 1. Isn't it amazing that Ray Langford can play with a torn rotator cuff in his left shoulder?
Well, we talked about this earlier today. Ray Langford's nightmare. Facing the first batter of the game, your feet aren't even wet yet. A good slider low and away. Bennett able to get a glove on it, knock it down, has the presence of mind to chase it down and throw him out of first base.
It's funny, the last at bat during and winning last year.
Alicea, the dive to his right. Good play. 2 gone. Alisea, who committed a league-high 24 errors during the regular season, took a hit away from his counterpart Lemke, 2 out.
Yeah, but he made 20 of those, Joe, in the first half of the season, so only 4 errors in the second half. Tony La Russa sticking with him. Fine play. He actually knocked that ball down with his left elbow, and fortunately for Luis, it's for
Jones. And the 1-2 to McGriff. He got him looking. McGriff strikes out, and he'll talk to Paul Runge. He didn't like the call, and the Braves are held scoreless.
Stone Mountain, Georgia. Ron Gant lives in the Atlanta area.
Gets into one to center field, sending Grissom back. At the track, it's over his head. Jordan can fly. He's headed for third and will make it a leadoff stand-up triple. But we talk about Grissom playing shallow. Very rare is
this is the kind of ball that will get over his head. A little cut fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he drives it.
So Smoltz in second inning trouble. Runner at third. Nobody out. Now the ball gets away from Lopez. Jordan comes home safe, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 second inning lead. It squirted away from Lopez, and Jordan, who
only problem over the last 5 years, he has led the National League in wild pitches. 3 of those 5 years. He had 10 this year. And Javier Lopez, the ball caroming off the mitt. It looked like it hit the heel of the glove, and he couldn't recover in time.
2-2. Got him over the outside corner, 1 away. And the second strikeout for Bennis. And 2-0 the count on Dye with 2 out, nobody on in the second. Up the middle, Ozzie, a diving catch to his left. He may be 41 years old, folks, but he can still do it. After 2 in Atlanta, the Cardinals lead 1-0. We'll be back to Fulton County after this from your local Fox. Well, a 19-year career for Ozzie Smith comes to a close in 1996, and Tim, he can still do it.
And the one thing that Ozzie does, because he does not have a strong throwing arm anymore, he does play a lot of right-handed hitters up the middle.
1 out, nobody on. Here's Andy Bennis. Into left field, well hit. Klesko going back. Over his head up against the wall, and Andy Bennis has a 1-out double here in the third.
John Smoltz, just a get-ahead fastball right down the middle of the plate. Andy Bennis looked like, particularly with the runner in scoring position.
Into left field. Klesko going back to get it. Plenty of time to get there. Bennis will tag. Makes his way to third, and he is safe with 2 out here in the inning.
I think the reason that Bennis took off was that Ryan Klesko caught the ball going back. Remember, we said Ozzie Smith couldn't hit a ball on a line there. The loft of the ball allows Klesko to get back on the ball. He's not in a position to make the throw, and Bennis lumbers into third, where you do not like to see your starting pitcher go in head first to any.
2-2. 1 away as Bennis changed up, and that's strikeout number 3. This is struck out 3. Make it 4. Well, since Bob, who has appeared in the most postseason games without winning a World Series title,
Dom DiMaggio. I'll just throw that out.
I was going to say I didn't hear anything out of McCarver. Terry Pendleton.
How about that?
Wow. Of course, missing last year's World Series title with Atlanta while spending the season in Florida.
Was with St. Louis in 1985 when the Cardinals lost to Kansas City after being up 3-1. Lost to Minnesota in 1987.
Of course, was hurt during that World Series against Minnesota in 1987. Of those 21. That caught the outside corner. There's your wide strike zone. And Bennis strikes out the...
Well, it's surprising McGriff hits this ball as far as he does. Got it just down near the trademark a little bit. But when a big, strong guy who's down on the very knob of that bat does not hit the sweet spot of the...
To the shortstop, Smith. The flip, the out. Andy Bennis and the Cardinals out of trouble in the 4th. And now after 4. Full count on Dye leading off. Got it. And for Bennis, strikeout number. Runner not going. Smoltz spunts it foul, and he strikes out. And that will not make Bobby Cox happy.
The 2 outs, they have had Jones running the last inning, Blauser running this inning. It's a double, and a very unusual double it is for Marquis.
Base hit! And the Braves take a 2-1 lead.
You know, I still live here in the winter, and it's nice to come home and sleep in your own bed. I slept like a rock last night, so it's good. You know, but there's a lot of emotion here. I went through some good times and bad times here, and you know, it's a very emotional time for me.
Ron Gant still harbors a lot of frustration and I think ill will toward the Atlanta Braves organization for releasing him when he broke his leg in that dirt bike accident. Braves out in front, only 2 hits for the Cardinals. Nothing surprising with the kind of pitching Atlanta throws at you. A little bloop base hit into center field. And a good start for the Cardinals here in the 7th. He takes over for Gary Gaetti, so this tells you what he's running. Mabry a base hit to center, and Mejia will head to third. So back to the base hit by Mabry, his first of the night.
Watch how John Mabry not only waited on the breaking ball, but really went down and got that breaking ball.
Into right center field, falling in a hurry, a base hit. The tying run, Mejia will score. Mabry, the lead run down to second. 3 straight singles, and the Cardinals have tied. McGee will come off the bench. What a career he has had. Of course, as we talk about this being a rematch of sorts, same NLCS there was in 1982, 1980s against Milwaukee. 2 on, 1 out, and McGee hits it to left for Klesko. A couple of big outs picked up by Smoltz. 2 out here in the 7th. 2 to Ozzie Smith. Off the plate, tough play, Blauser. Got it. And the inning is over. The game stays tied. There's Dennis Eckersley. Had 3 saves in the divisional playoffs. Smoltz strikes out. And 0-2 on Grissom. Inning over. Good pitching here tonight. You expected it from Atlanta. 1 on, nobody out. He is bunting. Off the plate. Petkazik throws. Nobody covers. Ball gets away. Lemke goes to third.
Petkazik slips off the mound. The ball off the plate. Makes a fine play, but Alicea late in covering. Jones knocks the lead with the infield in double play depth. You, as the runner at third, have to break home on a ground ball. What you do in this situation is make the
NLCS second and third, nobody out. McGriff pops it up. A big out for Fawcett, and the Cardinals 1 down. And McGriff now throws
2 to go for the double play up the middle.
Right. Broken bat, base hit. Jones scores. Here comes Chipper. 4-2 Atlanta. Base hit by Chipper Jones. Dye strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. Atlanta here in the 8th inning. Got him to end the inning. But an inning for Atlanta in which they... Game 1 belongs to Atlanta. Come back and wrap it up. A 4-2 win for Atlanta. Game 1, 1996 NLCS.
It was on to Atlanta for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, as the defending world champs expected to chop their way through St. Louis with ease. 24-game winner John Smoltz held the Cardinals to 2 runs through 8. Andy Bennis continued his streak of fine postseason pitching, striking out 7 in 6 innings. Yet the Cardinals lost 4-2 despite Andy's efforts.
Obviously, everybody's picking Atlanta to beat us, and so when you go out and you play, no one expects you to win. You can let it all hang out, and we've been able to do that all year, and we've been able to respond real well. So we don't mind that role. We haven't got a whole lot of respect, but I think what's important is that we go out and earn our respect.
Banks might say, let's play 2. Well, indeed we will. It's game 2 of the National League Championship for Tony La Russa. Let's show you how the play transpired last night. In the 7th inning. Cardinals runners first and second. John Mabry, the runner at second base. That's why La Russa did not decide to bunt. Didn't like the speed factor. 2 pitches, 2 outs later.
And as we talked to him, you know, he felt he had a lot of confidence in 3 left-handed batters to get the guy in. And for my money, I'm telling you, you advance the guy over to third because there are 7 additional opportunities you can score from third base instead of second base. And here could have been a sacrifice fly, could have been a tie game and a new game.
Yeah, it was funny.
Those things, but he is a tremendous competitor. This guy wants the ball in big game situations, and I wouldn't want to be Bobby Cox to go out there and try to take the ball away from him tonight.
Greg Maddux walked.
Ozzie Smith was leading off last night, not in the starting lineup tonight. Tony La Russa chose Royce Clayton to make the start, and he lines one into right. A good start for Clayton and the Cardinals here tonight. Dye throws behind Clayton, and Royce almost rounded it a bit too. Clayton aboard. He's going. Can't the base hit into right, and Clayton will head to third. Now Grissom kicks it in center. Clayton will score, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 first inning lead. That should be the second error of the postseason on Grissom, who committed on.
For the error is the aggressiveness of the Cardinals on the base paths when they finally do get some runners on here in a situation to put them in motion. You see the ball going out there. Doesn't seem to be a particularly hard chance for Marquise Grissom. Just loses. Stottlemyre's a 4-pitch pitcher, even though his 2 best are a high fastball and a sharp late breaking slider that he will go to when he gets into trouble.
Right here. Lemke hits it right on the button.
So much for the sophomore slump.
Forget it. 1-2. Inning over. A strikeout ends the first, and after 1 here.
Hook in curveballs to Chipper Jones. The first pitch a curve. Stottlemyre misses with the fastball. A splitter on the 1-1 count, and the curveball to finish.
Box waiting for a 1-2 pitch from Stottlemyre. 2 out. And the second strikeout for Stottlemyre. But you look at the Cardinal pitching, and their top 3 they feel can match up with Atlanta. Base is empty, 2 out. Dye goes fishing, and Jermaine came up empty. Tim, if they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, this is one intense soul.
Well, that slider eye is coming right into your living room there.
Clayton breaks his bat, tries to dump one into center, and he does it again. Good effort by Jermaine Dye, but Clayton 2 for. He's representing Clayton. Get it moving. He steals second, and that little red dot goes down to second. He's there with 1 out.
Yeah, Clayton had 33 stolen bases on the season, but he was caught 15 times. He is still really learning.
The batter is Gant. Breaks his bat into left field. It's trouble if it's fair. It is fair. It's 2-0 St. Louis as Gant digs for second with a 2-out RBI double.
Wants to win more than Ron Gant. Off the end of the bat, breaks his bat. Second hit. His first hit led to a run, and this double drives in a run. Saw Cincinnati Reds last year 4-out against Atlanta in the net.
Producing a 2-0 St. Louis lead. Now Jordan tries to dump one to left. That's a base hit. In to score is Gant. Down to second is Jordan, and it's 3-0 St. Louis here in the third. A straight double, and the Cardinals are getting to Maddox for coming in.
What a strange game this is. Another broken bat. Ronnie Gant broke his bat on a double. Jordan breaks his bat, drives in a run with a double. Seems like Maddox is making the pitches he wants.
Royce Clayton squaring his shoulders toward home plate. The slider again from Stottlemyre. Clayton actually gets prepared to throw the ball before he catches it. Realize.
Force out. Now Maddox strikes out trying to bunt. That's 4 strikeouts for Stottlemyre. And now to this leadoff walk, the batter Grissom. With Blauser at first, 2 out. Into left field. Well hit. It is gone.
Grissom doesn't miss it.
That's inside the third base bag. Pagnozzi doesn't run well. He's going to test Klesko. The throw, safe.
Like that, you tip your cap to Ryan Klesko. The reason it's good base running, he's got the bottom part of the order following him, and this is the time to take the chance. The throw to the pitcher side of second base, and it looked like Pagnozzi switched hands. Looked like he went from his left hand to his right hand to wrap around the back of the bag instead of the front of the bag.
1-2 to McGriff. Trying to check his swing. He did not, according to Jerry Crawford, and that is strikeout number 5.
Todd Stottlemyre getting another breaking ball down out of the strike zone. Remember the first inning, Chipper Jones, breaking ball down and in. Ryan Klesko, breaking ball down. Jermaine Dye, breaking ball down. But look at the slider to Marquise Grissom.
That's Gant with 2 out, nobody on. To the right side, and Ron Gant, who came into this game 0 for his last 13 against Maddox, is 3 for 3.
Changed his hitting style. Back in 1991, for the full season, he had 9 base hits to right field. Tonight, he has 2.
Whoa.
So he has gone from a pull hitter to a guy that
3 in their lineup, and the Cardinals lead 3-2. Into right center field. Sends Langford back. 1 away.
Learned his glare from Stewart, too.
Blauser checked his swing. He went around. They finally appeal in the first base. Stottlemyre has retired 7 in a row. He has struck out 7. We are through 5. Maddox just gets the ball right back. He's going. Mabry holds the runner at third. Very good play. 1 out.
Also a good play by Todd Stottlemyre, who went deck. With Lemke running, no chance of going to second. Look at Stottlemyre. He thinks there may be a play at home.
Klesko 0 for 2. Base hit. Grissom ties it. They hold Lemke. It's a 3-3 game.
Fly to center.
There's another short fly to center. Gallego going out. Lemke stays put, 2 out.
And again, the right guy caught the ball.
Pendleton. Yep. Inning over. Braves get 1. They wanted more. At the end of 6, tied at 3. We'll be back after this from your local. And Clayton. Gallego first up. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of groundouts. Off Maddox. Blauser can't make the play, or can he? Nope. And it's a leadoff base hit. Great recovery by Blauser to even make it close.
You up in a cold sweat right here. Fastball right down the heart of the plate. Gallego sends it right back where it came from. Self-defense on Maddox's part, able to just deflect it over towards Blauser, who knocks the ball down. If he's able to come up with a clean the first time, he may have a play at first base.
Whoa. Looks like it was off the thumb of the glove. Great play by Blauser to make it close at first. He's the hitter. He's probably hitting, not bunting.
Pops up. It is not caught. A fair ball. The throw gets away. Gallego heads for third. They may try to score him. They hold him. Sweeney down to second with nobody out. We'll wait on the drive.
Well, Sweeney, you'll see here, bunts the ball down the third baseline. Jones with a diving attempt right at the foul line. A good call. He short hops it. Gets to his feet to make the throw to first base. Just too high for Lemke to make the play on and stay on the bag. Gallego had held at second base. Nobody's covering third base at this point. You can see Lopez standing next to Jones. Blauser's on second base.
That'll load him up on a pitch that barely missed.
Again.
Into center field, well hit. Gallego will tag. The throw to third. The Cardinals take the lead 4-3. Langford the sac fly to center for his first postseason RBI, and the Cardinals regain the lead here in the seventh.
Bob, an old baseball cliche, you shouldn't throw the same pitch 3 times in a row. Maddox throws 5 consecutive changeups here to Ray Langford. Finally throws one for a strike. Langford waits and pokes it into center field to drive.
Maddox. You can see the grip from there. 2 on, 1 out, 0-2. Gets away, and the runners try to advance. They will. It's a wild pitch, but a ball that Javier Lopez did not get down and block.
Well, it's the worst possible way to go after a ball in the dirt as a catcher. He tried to backhand the ball, and what you do is you expose the harder part of the mitt. Well, in fairness to Greg, in this inning, that ball fielded by Chipper Jones, had he somehow not
into left field, well hit at the track, at the wall, grand slam. Gaetti blows it open here in the seventh. Well, if anybody thought the Cardinals were going to cruise into Atlanta, look at the pitching stage. Too late.
In a row, he sells it with that great arm speed.
2-1 on Mabry to the right side and through. So the hit parade continues. Actually, only the third hit of the inning for St. Louis.
Here you'll see the grand slam by Gaetti. A 4-seam fastball. You see the grip there by Maddox, a pitch that he throws very rarely, particularly in the middle of the plate, out where Gaetti can extend his arms. That's the pitch he's been looking for the last 2 days.
Some high cheese, huh?
Well, his nickname is the Rat, and the saying is you can't get the cheese by the rat. Maddox walked off the mound after giving up this grand slam to Gaetti.
This is not what you're used to seeing from Greg Maddox, a man that just carves up the corners both inside and outside throughout the season. Throws one right.
All the left-handers coming up for Atlanta. Good play by Gallego. One of the reasons why he's in the lineup. Grissom hits it hard. He's the final out in the. And he looks at ball one. Switch hitter with power from both sides of the plate. Former number 1.
The table, I'll handle it.
2-2 pitch is Young gets under one into deep left field. Klesko back to get it. 2 out. Okay, McCarver, he is all open. And Eckersley just turning 42 years old. Struck Lemke out looking to start the 8th inning. Here are his thoughts and finally getting back to postseason baseball.
How can you possibly appreciate anything until it's gone? You know, it's like I've played with a lot of guys like their rookie year on, they're in the playoffs or World Series, so it's hard to have an appreciation for that. So 4 years is long enough drought to appreciate, you know, where I am right now.
He's had a very good postseason and retired in St. Louis this year. Oldest active players in. 2 on, 2 out. Dye pops it up. Shallow center for Langford. Eckersley comes in, shuts the door on the 8th. We head to the 9th.
The right foot, that's to try to keep the front part closed.
Jordan sticks the bat out, gets a base hit to right. Langford goes station to station. And it's first and second, one out here in the 9th inning.
In 88, and that was the same series. And Kirk Gibson hit the home run.
In fact, it was the walk to Davis that preceded.
That's right. That's the last one. Can pull a miracle here.
No miracle tonight. Eckersley throws wild. Mabry saves it, and the game is over. A little smile on the face of Dennis Eckersley as he shuts it down, and the Cardinals come away with an 8-3 win here in Game 2 in Atlanta.
What the heck, Eck?
He's got such good control throwing to home plate, but has a little trouble throwing it to first. Just kind of choked it off there. Oh, what a play. Nice going, John Mabry.
Great body language there, wasn't it?
Think he's not still into this game? Arusa and the Cardinals will head back to St. Louis with a 1. Hope you have enjoyed our coverage of Game 2 from Atlanta. For Tim McCarver and Bob Brentley.
This is Gary Gaetti. Gary, yesterday we talked and you weren't even sure if you could play. Today you come up with a big home run to put this game out of reach.
Well, you know, my ankle felt better, you know, last night. But, you know, and each day it's been getting a little bit better. It still doesn't, in the course of the game, it's been so cool and wet out here that it gets stiff, you know. So, you know, he took me out last night, but he left me in there long enough tonight to, you know, go to war.
You guys come in here, you battle hard last night, you get the loss, you tied up the series. Going home, it's got to be a great feeling to go in 1-1.
Well, it's better than 0-2, that's for sure, you know, and we feel like, you know, we've got something to prove against these guys at home. You know, they swept us this year, so, you know, I'm hoping we can change that too, you know, but these are tough-fought games. I mean, these guys are never out of it until the last out's made, and you know, it was a good game, though.
All right, good job, congratulations. All right, let's go back over to Chip Carey.
Gary Gaetti. Gary, a long time coming between postseason thrills. Coming against Greg Maddux makes it all the more special. And the way your career had gone the last few years, I guess you didn't think this moment might happen.
Well, you're right. I really didn't know, you know, and it's a lot of it has to do with, you know, where you end up. You know, if you end up with a, you know, a team that's got really good pitching and got a chance, I mean, I don't care when it happens. It's great, you know, to be in this situation. You know, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes, but it's great to be back. I don't care if it's 1 time, 2 times, 10 times for some of these guys. I mean, it's a good feeling.
Everyone struggles against Maddux, especially you in this game. The first 2 times you had up, you had chances to drive in runs, left them there, and then they get 3. I guess you needed 3 guys on base to come up with a big one.
Well, you know, the time before that, he made me look really bad up there at the plate. He's got a way of making a good pitch look bad. That's the only way I can describe it. You know, you give up on a pitch and you look back and it's right there and you think it's outside. So, you know, I guess, you know, I was joking around with some of the other guys. You know, as good as Maddux is, I said, what's your program tonight? I said, well, I'm going to swing at everything. You know, and I got a good pitch to hit right there. You know, he got me to take that pitch earlier in the game, but it turned out.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not exactly where he wanted to put that pitch, but he decided to put Brian Jordan on base to set up that situation.
Well, I don't know. I know I'd had to do the same thing if I was manager. You know, you got to go for the force out. You know, and he was probably gauging the way I'd looked against Maddux. You know, and I have a feeling that he knew exactly what he was doing on the mound, and he put it right where he wanted it. You know, so you know, I just got it. That's all.
Perhaps Gary Gaetti earned a bit of respect before the game by signing a few autographs for Braves fans.
Good luck, Gary.
Gaetti, I'm a Braves fan, but I like you.
Gary obliged the youngster, but was much less obliging to the Braves in the top of the 7th. The Cards had just taken a 4-3 lead as Greg Maddux delivered with the bases packed with Redbirds.
Swing and a long one into left. Get up, baby. Grand slam. Home run for Gary Gaetti. And the Redbirds rattle Maddux.
Rattled him right out of the ball game. And with the Cards leading 8-3, the crowd at Fulton County Stadium was sent packing. It was then just a matter of recording that last out. It's sidearm and a ground ball back to the mound. A wild throw. And that's a winner. As Eckersley threw wildly to first. Call them the Cardiac Cardinals, but Tony La Russa's bunch was ecstatic to even the series at 1 game apiece.
We know we went to Atlanta and we took 1 out of 2. We did our first part of the job. So emotionally, you know, there's a lot of pressure. There's some great feelings, excitement. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to see that, you know, it's been 10 years since we've had it here in St. Louis, and I know this place will be jumping.
And in the shadow of the arch, downtown St. Louis, we get ready for game number 3. 1996 National League Championship Series. We're glad you're with us here on Fox. The first 2 games split right down the middle in Atlanta. How about a look at the Braves starting lineup? Marquise Grissom, Tony La Russa. Look at Donovan Osborne as the Cardinals take the field. His thoughts on the series so far and his job here this afternoon in St. Louis.
Our main goal was to get 1 there in Atlanta. We got 1. We wanted 2, but it didn't work out. But series is tight now. We got 5, and we got 3 here. So the fans are going to be on them, and the Cardinals are going to be on them. We're going to be going right at them, and we're going to do everything we can to win.
Guys, I think you hear Donovan Osborne talk, and he kind of echoes the feeling you get when you walk around the Cardinal clubhouse. This is a St. Louis team led by Tony La Russa that believes they can beat the Atlanta Braves.
I don't know if anybody else around the country outside of St. Louis believes that, but these St. Louis fans do, and as you said, the guys in that clubhouse do, and quite honestly, I believe they have a chance. They need to keep doing what they did in game.
Trying to jumpstart this Atlanta offense underway. Strike 1.
Speaking of jump-starting, what the Braves and the
third 1 out, a chance for the Braves to take a first-inning lead in St. Louis. Into right field, that'll get the job done. Jordan, a late break to get it. Grissom tags and scores, and the Braves take a 1-0 first-inning lead. So the wild pitch immediately comes into. Runners on at second and third, 2 out here in the first inning. Right at Clayton. It almost took Royce into left field. Dye hit it hard, but right at the Cardinal shortstop. Braves get 1 of the first.
Tom Glavine gets outs with balls off the plate, not strikes.
Clayton a base hit into center field, and a good start for St. Louis.
The exception of that 1-cut fastball inside. 3-1 count here. It looks like Glavine may have to come to one of those red zones.
1 on, 1 out. That is hit a ton. 2-1 St. Louis.
Jordan will show you Gantz right down the pipe, but not for long.
Boy, Ronnie Gant is a strong, strong man. You look at him in that uniform and you don't realize how powerful he is, but he showed everybody in this ballpark what he could do with a mistake pitch.
Ron Gant gives him a curtain call. He has had some postseason.
Thrill for Gary Gaetti.
It was the 7th inning in game 2. 2 out, bases loaded, hanging slider from Maddox, and Gaetti knew what to do with it. The 5th NLCS Grand Slam and an 8-3 Cardinal win.
Interesting article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch about Gary and his parents, Bill and Jackie, who still live in Centralia, watching the game the other night.
Sticks his bat out and dumps one into right. So a 3-hit first inning for the Cardinals against Glavine. The first inning, an ERA over 5, but in the postseason, an ERA of under 1 in the first inning. That doesn't appear to be happening here today.
Well, the Cardinals are really.
Braves got 1. Gantz and the Cardinals get 2. After 1 in St. Louis, game 3, 2-1.
Try to bring that pitch along if he's missing early in the game.
Out in front, struck him out, and that's the first strikeout for Osborne.
Well, I think what we see here is a young pitcher on the mound that takes advantage of a guy at the plate that's even a little younger, throws a very good changeup. Jones trying to be aggressive and protect that plate with 2 strikes way out.
2 out, nobody on here in the second inning. Lavin strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Osborne after an inning and a half in St. Louis. 2-1. Now 3-2 on Clayton. Ozzie Smith introduced before the game. He'll make a start, you can bet, before the end of this NLCS. His lower games. They've done it once. Clayton grounds to Blauser on a good changeup. Jeff can't make the play. The ball gets away, and Clayton gets down to second. Then an unnecessary throw by Jermaine Dye.
His head down. Fine play by Blauser to come up with it. The quick throw, however, into the runner. McGriff thought he had it. He looked at his glove and realized that Clayton had kicked it.
1-2, the count on Grissom leading it off, third inning. Had him reaching, struck him out. And the first out here in the third.
Grissom made contact. This exemplifies Bob Brentley's point once again. You see how his momentum takes him toward first base? Watch after the swing. Watch Grissom's feet.
His team, they'd like to see Freddie get going.
Now a 1-2 pitch coming to McGriff. Stepped up in the box and grounds to second. Easy play, Gallego. Braves get a hit, lead their third, and after 2.5 in St. Louis, Cardinals out.
Hitters out is to use both sides of the plate. Slider away.
You can see the difference with Osborne's curveball as this game has progressed. He was having trouble in the first inning, bouncing them out in front of home plate, hanging a few in the strike zone. Very good slow curve right there.
Got him over the inside corner, 2 out. Runs in one game, August 22nd against Cincinnati, but really finished in a slump. Tests Clayton in the hole. Good play in a 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Osborne. Cardinals
overrated.
Off the end of the bat, trouble. Lead-off base hit.
You know, a lot of people will say, well, that was a broken base at bat. A lot of good things happen. Watch his front shoulder. Stays into the last minute, hits it off the end. He's folded at the last 2 weeks of the season.
Sitting alongside Leonard. Over the inside corner, and that plate is getting wider and wider as we go.
Well, especially the left side of the plate.
1-1 to Chipper. To the left side, Gaetti will throw across, sailing over. Osborne allows a 2-out hit, then a walk. Donovan Osborne has struck out 5. Make it 6.
Fastball hitter. You see here a breaking ball out of the strike zone, low and away. A check swing on almost the same pitch. A good fastball, had a good cut at it, and then just gets locked up with another fastball. That is a pitch and ball game. Hits this ball well to right field. Good approach, drives the ball, but a lot of guys have tried to hit balls in the gap against the Cardinals, and those gaps close.
Top of the 6th. Into left center field. Gant drifting. Inning over. A hit and a walk to left.
Much lower than that until you get to the 90 to 100 pitch mark, which is usually around the 7th inning of the ball game. It jumps well over 300.
Gant into deep center field. 3-1 St. Louis.
On the 100th pitch,
see Lopez set up on the outside corner. The pitch strays back over the outside part of the plate. Gant gets extension. Drives it to the deepest part of the park.
Now Jordan into right center field. That's falling in a hurry. Grissom can't get it, but Dye can. Jermaine Dye with a diving catch to take a hit away from Jordan. And luckily for the Braves, they do not collide. This could have been nasty had they hit shoulders or heads. Into left field. That's curling toward the corner. A hit. You don't test Andrew Jones. It's a one-out single. Looks like a changeup. Eddie gets the bat head out, and that ball indeed hooks toward the line. Nice play by Andrew. When he went out to take his position in left, well, what you would expect. They toward the dugout. The catch and touching third. He had some body language to his right. See that right there? I think he was thinking about third base. Had Bobby Cox not sent the runners, that wouldn't have been an option. 0-2 into center field. Here's Chipper Jones coming home to score. Making it a one-run game. Remember, Langford does not have a healthy left shoulder. And the sack. He's the most dominant ground ball pitcher in the Cardinal bullpen. 2-2. Right at Gallego. They did not double off McGriff. And the inning continues here in the 8th. Good base running by Drive. And McGriff does, and just gets back. You could see he was leaning toward third, but he recovers it. Pet Kajzik bails Osborne, and the Cardinals out of trouble. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cardinals lead by standing ovation. In the first inning, a two-run shot to put the Cardinals on top. In the 6th inning, a leadoff home run to make it a 3-1 game. It's now 3-2 St. Louis. Center field for the ailing Ray Langford. He'll bat in the number 9 spot, and now pitching. Batting in the number 2. Gallego to his right. One pitch. See you later, Rick Honeycutt. Has 10 career league championship series saves, which is a major league record. He may have number 11. Cardinals win. With our Chevrolet player of the game.
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. Ron Gans here. Ron, I don't want that stock answer, man. This team lets you go. You love to come back and beat up on them.
Well, Steve, you know, being a former teammate of mine there, you know how I feel. I mean, it's a great feeling. I had a lot of things happen to me in my career while I was with the Braves, and a lot of good and a lot of bad. So, there's a lot of emotion running through me when I play against this ball club.
We knew there was going to be some great pitching here, but everyone expected it to come from the Atlanta side. Will this pitching staff of your ball club finally get some national recognition with the job they're doing?
Well, coming out of spring training, I knew that we had the pitching staff that can carry us through the season, and I don't think anybody took me seriously, but I think the world is seeing now that once our pitchers figure out how to pitch some of these hitters, they're tough.
Absolutely. Ron. Good job, man. Good luck. All right, go get him.
On a game in the series, the Cardinals win Game 3, 3-2. Ron Gant and the Redbirds lead the best-of-7 series 2-1 for our entire crew. This is Chip Carey from Busch Stadium. We'll see you tomorrow night. So long, everybody.
As the series moved back to St. Louis, enthusiasm reached a fever pitch.
Oh, God!
When it was time to play ball, the crowd was loud. Atlanta manager Bobby Cox hoped his Braves could silence the record-sized crowd early.
Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go.
But the Cards would have none of that. St. Louis came out swinging right from the get-go. Tom Glavine found himself in a first-inning jam with 1 on and 1 out as he delivered to former teammate Ron Gant.
Swinging along on the left. Might leave the park. Up, and away. And the Cardinals lead it 2-1.
You always like to keep the crowd into it. Mr. Gant has just put them front and center.
Ron's homer also put the Cardinals ahead by a score of 2-1. Then again in the 6th, Glavine to Gant.
Swing and a high fly ball to center. Back at the track, at the fence. Up, and away. It is 3-1.
Well, you think this crowd's not having some fun? You should be here.
The Cards went on to win it 3-2 thanks to Gant and thanks to the big crowd.
They were enthused the whole game. I mean, you can hear them out there and out in left field. It gave me a lot of incentive and a lot of adrenaline for today's game. I mean, without them, I don't know if I would have did what I did today.
Has been a fixture in that Redbird uniform. 19 seasons, 2,400 hits, 13 Gold Glove awards. It's hard to imagine a St. Louis team without him. Ozzie Smith still playing over 40. He's an old-timer just like Dave Winfield in Game 1. A great catch. Ozzie Smith indeed is still...
By the Wizard. And up the middle. Ozzie back. Oh, what a play. Oh, my goodness. What a play, Ozzie Smith.
What has St. Louis meant to you after all these years?
Well, it's meant everything in the world, and it's been a good union between me and the city, and I think it's a love that's gone back and forth. And I've dedicated myself to this city, and I think the city has dedicated itself to me, and it's been a great ride.
I recall specifically a play on Jeff Burroughs when I knew you could play the game. That smash up the middle, and you barehanded, and he threw his helmet down when you threw him out. That, for me, that let me know you could play.
To this day, that's the one play that I think that put Ozzie Smith on the map.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
The time that I think that people started looking at me as more than just a one-dimensional player was the home run that I hit in the playoffs in 1985. Yes. I think that was the turning
defining moment.
It was a defining moment for me.
This year when Tony La Russa came in, you guys didn't see eye to eye on playing time. There was a confrontation, ultimately a resolution. Can you tell me just briefly about that?
Well, the only thing that Ozzie Smith was unhappy with was the way it was handled. After playing shortstop in the big leagues for 18 years, I thought and felt that the best way to have approached this would have been to include me on who was coming in to succeed me as a shortstop. And I didn't come into this season to play 150 games. That never was my goal. But nobody ever asked me that. After I made my announcement, I think it relaxed everybody. I think it removed a lot of the tension.
Is it coincidental that the team started playing very well after that?
I think that had a lot to do with it because, as I said, it was a very volatile situation coming in and something that had to be handled with kid gloves.
Ozzie, I still see you have some skills out there. If the circumstances were right, would you come back with another team?
When I leave this game, I want to leave this game playing it as well as I did when I came into it. And I think that this is this is the time. I have just had my fill of baseball at this particular time. But that's not to say that in the off season, 2 weeks into it, that I'll say, oh boy, I'm missing it, and you know, I have to have it. I reserve the right to be able to do that.
Could it get any better for you guys to win it all?
It can't get any better than this. You know, I've had a lot of fun playing this game, man, and it's the greatest game in the world.
Well, there he is, Ozzie Smith, the future Hall of Famer. Tell you what, playing in his 18th year, I think. Still some work to be done, though, for the Redbirds. We'll show you how the Yankees clinch the AL pennant when we come back to St. Louis.
Staff has done in the first 3 games of this series. There you see the numbers right there. Andy Bennis, Todd Stoudemire, Donovan Osborne have not only held the Atlanta Braves bats in checks, they have outdueled the big 3 from the Atlanta Braves. And
to the right side, Gallego. High hop. 1 out. He's waiting on deck. We'll see him in the second inning. Andy Bennis has a 1-2-3 perfect. Mention is making his first start in 17 days.
Tied with Al Leiter of the Florida Marlins as the winningest left-hander in the National League this year. And
blowing away, he hits it off the end of the bat. A good approach trying to go the opposite way, but you can see Gary Gaetti shading that hole on the left side of the infield. You can't believe he's up there guessing anything else other than fastball in that situation.
Now he guessed right. Deep right field. Forget all about it, and the Braves take a 1-0 lead.
It was a violent collision of bat and ball here.
High changeup, by changeup.
And a postseason only 201. Dye is running. Pagnozzi's throw is perfect, and the inning is over. Dye caught stealing. A run is on the board. It belongs to it. There were 2 former catchers smiling when Pagnozzi gunned down Dye to end the inning.
Just a perfect throw from Pagnozzi. No crow hop, just a pivot on that right foot, closed up the shoulders, and made a great strong throw right injured.
1 out, nobody on. Mabry to the right side, off McGriff and into right. So whereas McGriff has made a couple of good plays early, that is one he'll take.
Well, Mabry fights off a high fastball on the inside part of the plate, and McGriff just seemed to miss
a short right field for a hit.
They originally ruled it a hit. Now they're going to change it. Double play ball. That won't help. 4, 6, 3.
That high finish with the flourish, and he's just not getting the bat to the strike zone the way he did during the regular season. They love their team.
And they love Willie McGee, who leads it off. 4th inning. Atlanta out in front, leadoff base hit, and the first Cardinal hit of the night.
Flat-footed, a changeup off the plate away, poked to right center. If you're raising a child, little league ball or anything, you do not go to Willie McGee and say hit like this, because Willie's the only guy who can hit like that.
That's right in McGee's wheelhouse.
Yeah, to see if he's all right. Watch Blauser first and then Klesko. Klesko coming into your picture. Fortunately, Jeff had a chance to.
Runners go, and again Jordan pops it up. This one is playable. Chipper Jones saves the out. Chipper looked at Javi. Javi looked at Chipper. And John. 2 out. Gaetti comes up empty, and that is 5 strikeouts.
And Lemke
watches the fly ball to left. Denny Nagel gets into and out of trouble in the 4th. A long 4th inning. Great to Lemke. That is hit a long way to right. Is it his first in postseason? Yep. 2-0 Atlanta. 195 at bats later, and Lemke
and showed he does have some pop in that bat.
Talking about he's flying open.
Jones shoots one to deep right center field. It is gone. to make it 3-0, I believe. Now they say no. It hit the top of the wall and came back, and we're going to have an argument. Bobby Cox will come out and argue. The Braves bench thinks it was gone.
It hit in the flower bed.
You can hear Bob Davidson saying it hit the yellow line and it came back. I am anxious to see this replay.
It may have hit the corner of the yellow line. Good call.
Very good call.
Good call.
Right off the yellow line, and it came back. There have been home runs in this ballpark.
Cover second and try to get the double play up the middle.
Double play ball. Gallego to Clayton. On to Mabry.
To bunt him over, and the slider from Fossas. Nasty pitch. Easy double play.
1-1 pitch. Up the middle, base hit. RBI for Jermaine Dye, and it's 3-0 Atlanta. They walk Lopez to get to the rookie, and Jermaine Dye.
To go on the disabled list, the Cardinals cannot replace him during the National League Championship Series, but can replace a pitcher on the roster between the NLCS and the World Series.
2 on, 2 out. 2-2 the pitch. Got it. Went right after Blauser. High heat, inning over. Andy starts the inning. Allen not only has pitched well, but has a hit and a sacrifice. Now a test for Gaetti. Good play, 1 out.
The toughest play for a third. Very unusual spin coming off the bat. He just tries to get over and smother the ball. Makes a great play.
Gold Glove winner in the American League. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Mabry. And the drive into right. Mabry thinking double. Dye comes up throwing good play. It's a 2-out single.
Hitter. He hits the ball more to the big part of the field. Jermaine Dye has a long way to run to get to this ball.
Bring McMichael in so La Russa can use Ray Lankford, the left-hander.
1 on, 2 out. Mabry running. Ball 4 to Pagnazzi, and the tying run will walk to the plate. Gallego immediately called back. And Bob.
Then you can bring in Ray Lankford. Or I beg your pardon, you could bring in McMichael, and then La Russa will go to the left-hander, and in the process, waste a batter. But Bobby Cox, by making the move right away, is going to either have La Russa go.
Nagel was fantastic, and now it's McMichael against a rookie, Dimitri Young. Ron Gant talking to Dimitri Young, trying to give him a quick cram session on how to face Into left center field, pretty well hit. Over the head of Klesko. 2 runs are going to score. Young headed for third. Safe with a triple.
The other way. Klesko, an effort. The ball hugs the wall. Young with good speed for a big man. I'll tell you, a good play right here was Chipper Jones. If Jones doesn't make this saving catch, McMichael, the pitcher, was backing up home and wouldn't have been able to get behind third base, and possibly Young could have scored.
As Gene Gieselman is going to trot out and talk to Dimitri Young.
We mentioned it earlier. Gene Gieselman has been very busy the last 2 nights. In the stands yesterday, on the field tonight. T.J. Matthews, and now Dimitri Young coming out. Keep in mind, he has no way to loosen up the legs before you pinch hit. There's no place to do any running. So you hit a triple, and you're cold. and you're tight, easy to see how he could have pulled something.
You're right about Dimitri Young. For a big guy, he can run.
And the earth shakes when he hits third base right there. Head first slide.
Strike two. That time Clayton out. Tough play. McMichael. Safe, and the game is tied.
Another changeup from McMichael. Clayton, a swing very similar to the one before, but this time hits it into fair territory. Uses that speed we've been talking about all night to beat it out.
That's what makes a guy like Clayton doubly dangerous with 2 outs and a runner on third. He can get the infield hit, too.
McGriff. The race to the bag is won by McMichael. And the inning is over. But not before a 2-out rally scores 3. The rookie comes through. We're tied after 7. Tied it 3-3 after 7. You rarely see McGee react emotionally, but just nipped at the wire by McMichael.
Well, that's about the extent of it, too. By the time he gets back to the dugout, he will realize that his team has come back to tie this game. And if he does hit the ball, he's not likely to pull it into that hole.
2-2. Should be the first out of the inning. Foul ball, strike one. I should say out number 1. It was a foul out. And here's Klesko, 1-on, 1-out. Another pop-up. Mabry wants it. Will deal with a mound. 2 out.
He's the runner, but very rarely will he pick off at first base.
Lopez breaks his back. Alicea the flip. Inning over. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Honeycutt and Eckersley do it again. High drive into deep left field. Gant got under it, and it falls short at the track. 1 out.
And a collective exhaling. Michael throws changeup after changeup, and that's the pitch you're more apt to pull.
Pulls it into left. Klesko watches it lead. 4-3 St. Louis. The lead in the 7th. He gives up the tie in the 8th on this.
Changeup pulled. As popular as Michael Jordan in Chicago because of this. And after that home run, Vesuvius erupted here in St. Louis.
The stadium was shaking. The press box was rocking and rolling.
Wow.
And just sitting on a changeup. Ronnie Gant sat on a changeup, just got under it a little bit. Dimitri Young celebrating in the dugout. Brian Jordan didn't.
We are going to see Guys, the managerial wheels spin here in the 9th inning.
And it may not include Terry Pendleton, even though he is hitting off the tee, because the double switch made by Bobby Cox has his only other catcher batting 9th, and he's a right-handed hitter.
Into center field, falling in a hurry, and a leadoff base hit for Dye. He's trying for 2 and makes it. What a play by the rookie Jermaine Dye. And the tying run is in scoring position. Polonia batting for Blauser. Pops it up. So they don't have him bunt. He doesn't advance the runner. And Dye is at second with 1 out.
The thing is, Luis Polonia is a good bunter.
2 out.
That's the same pitch he threw to Luis Polonia. Breaking ball. A wrinkle.
It appeared he took quite a bit off this pitch, too. He throws a harder slider. This one, you can see the frisbee spin, just a roundhouse sidearm curveball. Terry Pendleton out front.
A ball and 2 strikes on Grissom. Ball game. September showed the Atlanta Braves had feet of clay. That clay now may be starting to crack. 3 games to 1. The St. Louis Cardinals are up on the Atlanta Braves, trying to take the next step tomorrow night and meet the New York Yankees in the World Series. Today, Chevrolet player of the game, Dimitri Young, the 2-out, 2-run triple. He then scored the tying run on the infield hit by Clayton. And then in the 8th inning, the 1-out home run by Jordan. Dimitri Young is our Chevrolet player of the game with a triple into left center field. From all of us up in the booth, we send it down to Steve Lyons, who's with the other hero, Brian Jordan.
I got Brian Jordan down here. Brian, I got on you yesterday because you wouldn't give Ronnie Gann a chance to come out. Now you go deep and you don't come out. What's up with that?
Well, I tell you, I was so excited, so pumped up. I was just walking around in the dugout, you know. I think this game belongs to the young kid, Dimitri Young. He really came up big. You know, this is our first at bat in the postseason, and it was a big one.
Now, you're 3, 4, 5 hitters are the guys that did the damage. Gaetti in game 2, Gann yesterday, and you're doing to them what they've done all year. Huge 2-out hits.
Well, I tell you, it's a lot of fun. I mean, this whole team has been coming up big in the second half, and we're just continuing to work hard, and it's paying off.
All right, get in there and enjoy it, man. Good job.
Local time. A great ball game again tonight in St. Louis. The Cardinals win 4-3, the final score. For our entire crew, this is Chip Carey. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night from Busch Stadium. So long, everybody. Of St. Louis baseball could be written tonight, as the Cardinals, with a win tonight, would join the New York Yankees in the 1996 World Series. For game number 5, with the Cardinals out in front, 3 games to pitcher Todd Stottlemyre. Ozzie Smith makes his first start of this series since game 1. No flip tonight. Ozzie Smith is 41 years old. What do you want?
I asked Tony La Russa before the game, did emotion play a role in starting Ozzie Smith tonight? He said 0. I owe it to my teammates, to my coaching staff, and to the fans here in St. Louis to put the right guy out there. Smith started against Smoltz in game 1, and he's starting tonight.
Well, it's not really that season.
Struggled against Dodger pitching, and he loops one into shallow right. Long run Alicea. He won't get there, and a leadoff base hit for Grissom. So off the end of the
Torrey, former manager of the Cardinals.
Right. Lemke gets under one into right, sending Jordan back at the track, at the wall, off the wall. Grissom heads to third. He will hold there. A single and a double, and the Braves come roaring out of the gate here in game 3. Into left field. That is trouble. That'll score them both. Grissom and Lemke come home, and in the first inning on a single and 2 doubles, the Braves take a 2-0 lead. A little flare over the head of Ozzie. In comes Chipper Jones, and it's 3-0 Atlanta here in the first. And isn't that exactly what Fred McGriff?
That's some job taking this crowd out of the game.
One away as Klesko strikes out.
For Jones, but Klesko with the big swing, a ball out over the plate where he likes.
Broken bat, double play ball. Gaetti boots it, and there will be no double play. Taylor made, and Gaetti juggled it, and it's only a force out, 5-4. Dive pokes one into shallow right. That's trouble. Alicea can't get there. Lopez heads to third, and it's first and third, 2 out here in the first. 3 runs in for Atlanta in the first. Into right field. Jordan going to get it. Calls off. Now McGee. Neither one goes after it. 2 runs are going to score. Blauser heads to third. The throw over. He is safe, and it's 5-0 Atlanta here in the first inning. And the Cardinals have absolutely fallen flat on their face here in the first inning.
Tailing back to Jordan, and neither caught it.
We've seen a lot of communication problems in the outfield, not only in this series, but throughout the postseason in all the ball games. The crowd noise really becomes a factor. McGee did put his glove up, indicating I've got this one. Jordan.
2 runs come in, a 5-run first inning. Now Smoltz, Alicea the dive, and the throw to end the inning. The Braves get 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 left. 8 driven in. Hit a ton to left. If it's fair, it's gone. Curls foul for strike 1.
Didn't like. Check this out. That's a hanger right there, folks.
Gant a base hit to right field, and the Cardinals do not go in order in the first.
Well, that is terrific hitting by Ron Gant. He took that 2-1 pitch on.
He just kind of waits and lets the ball get into the hitting zone and throws the barrel of the bat at it. You see no hips involved in that swing at all.
Flat-footed.
Flat-footed, 2-strike swing to just protect the plate.
1 on, 2 out, up the middle. Blauser, nice play, can't do anything with it. 2 on, 2 out.
You made
right to Blauser. Safe, and the bases are loaded.
Now indecision by Jeff Blauser. The double clutch. He gets under the throw. Give Gaetti.
Hustle by Gaetti.
Now the bases are loaded. 2 out from Mabry. Into center field for Grissom. Drifting, inning over. So not only do the Cardinals give up 5, they tease their fans, loading the bases. Coming into this season, Stoudemire had been in 4 ALCS games with Toronto, an ERA of 6.87 coming into tonight in 1996, 2-0. He'd really been throwing well, and now it's Danny Jackson on before he thought. Fred McGriff, rifle right at Mabry, double play.
It's almost like skeet shooting. Pull. Double play.
That was self-defense more than anything else. He really had no time to react. Just gets the glove up almost to protect.
3 here last night.
Here you see Jackson's delivery, and he does drop down on that back leg a little bit, but nowhere near as extreme as he used to be earlier in his career.
2 on, 2 out. Right at Alicea. High hop. Inning over. Braves get 2 more on 4.
On Gant now. Bottom third, and Gant to Blauser, who would double up Willie McGee. That's how it was going for St. Louis all night. Could it get any worse? You bet. 2 on, 2 out for Smoltz, who singles off Danny Jackson. Second hit for Smoltz. Lopez scores to make it 8-0. Next batter, Marquise Grissom. You getting tired of this? You weren't if you're an Atlanta fan. Grissom singles, that scores Blauser, 9-0 Atlanta, and then Lemke. His 4th hit in 4 innings. That scores Smoltz, 10-0. It was 11-0 in the 7th. Next at bat for Lemke. Grounds out. He grounds out. Top of the 9th, 12-0 Braves. La Russa just wants it to end, and it doesn't. Fred McGriff has found his stroke again. A 2-run homer off 42-year-old Rick Honeycutt. The Braves win 14-0. They set so many major league records. Let me just tell you about some of them.
The one thing you're not going to hear me say is we didn't have bad luck. They didn't have good luck. We're not going to talk about bloopers that fell. We're not going to talk about our line drives that get caught. We're not going to talk about an exciting game yesterday. We're flat, and all these excuses that people make sometimes, and that I've heard this in this series, depending on who won. Well, we did. We took our best shot. They did more.
Tony La Russa debated over his starter for Game 6. His choice, rookie Alan Bennis gets the ball against 4-time Cy Young Award winner Greg Maddux with a trip to the World Series on the line.
Sent Andy out Game 4, and he's the strongest of all. And look, he was a little bit different. Todd, same. So here we got Alan raring to go. He's a stallion, and you can give Donovan the extra day if we need it. And we just decided not to push, because if Donovan pitches today and it doesn't work, you have to bring Andy out short again tomorrow, and it didn't make sense.
Talking about the type of emotion that Ron Gant showed in Game 3. You remember the second home run that he hit off Tommy Glavine? Watch as he rounds first. The Braves thinking that's natural, but this type of emotion, Dennis Eckersley looking into the dugout and raising that fist. But you know what? Dennis didn't get that out of the closet. He's been doing that for years. Tony La Russa telling us before the game that the Cardinals need that type of emotion, especially here in Atlanta with that crowd.
1-2 to McGee. Hard hit, base hit, right field. And McGee is on with only his 3rd hit of this series.
Left-handed hitters throw the sinker in under their elbows and try to bring it back over the inside corner. This pitch just strays a little bit too far over the fat part of the plate. McGee takes advantage.
Brian Jordan to center. He's outstanding in right, maybe even better in center field, where he prefers to play. And on the mound, 24-year-old right-hander, his first postseason start. It's Alan Bennis.
Well, Alan Bennis hasn't gotten...
Young Allen, just 24 years old, on the mound. And a good start as he strikes out Grissom.
Fastball out of the strike zone, above the letters. Ties up Grissom.
Enough early.
2-2 to Jones. Jammed him. Gallego. First inning, history, Game 6. And a good start for young Alan Bennis. Leadoff hit by McGriff. 2-2, 1 out. 0-2 to Dye. Into right. Will it bring home McGriff? McGee has a good arm. Play at the plate. Safe for the Braves. Take a second inning lead. Into right. McGee is right there. The Braves get one. They jump out in front. They hand it over to Maddux. We'll be back. 2-2. Another ground ball. 3 ground ball outs here in the 3rd inning for Alan Bennis. Trying to match up with Greg. 2 out. And the 3rd strikeout for Alan Bennis, and there he is up the ladder. 1 on, 2 out. Line drive to Gant. Inning over. Nice catch by the former Brave, and Alan Bennis Maddux has retired 11 in a row. Gaetti takes full advantage of the defensive alignment of the Atlanta infield. With Lemke playing in a normal second base, that's an easy out.
Not hit it well. You see Lemke, the second baseman, on the left side of second base. McGriff can't get
in the 5th inning. That won't get it done. Maddox pitches around a lead on and 2. The count on Grissom. Bennis gets him for his 4th strikeout of the night. He just reared
surprises. You can even see he's got a little grunt there at the end of it. A good 4-seam fastball outside corner. Right on by.
He's come up with big hit after big hit in this series. Up the middle, big hit. In comes Blauser. 2-0 Atlanta. Bad throw. Lemke down to second.
Have to pinch hit for him.
Runner at second, 2 out. Jones lifts one to center. Bennis. An outstanding start here tonight. That's about all you could ask for from young Allen. He gets chippered. The 0-2 from Gregg. Into center field, falling in a hurry. Grissom, the dive and the catch.
I'd rather have the better defense out there right now.
3-2 to Jones. Got him. Way out in front. Lost the bat. 2 out here in the 6th.
And he actually got a changeup on the 3-1 pitch. Was able to stay on it. We've talked repeatedly throughout this series. Lopez is a dead pull hitter. He's going to hit the ball on the left side, especially.
To the shortstop, Clayton. Inning over. Braves leave 3. They've stranded 7. Atlanta out in. Terry working long and hard to put together a quiz. Jordan, a 1-out base hit to right. His first hit of the night, and for the Cardinals, their 3rd against Maddox. Jordan running. Mabry, the blue pin into center, and Jordan will head to 3rd. Mabry has a hit in all 6 NLCS games, and it's 1st and 3rd.
They were trailing by 3 with 2 out and nobody on in the 7th inning. John Mabry's leadoff hit, the catalyst to that 3-run.
I'm sure more worried than husband Gregg. To the shortstop, Belliard. The easy flip, the inning over. No runs, 2 hits, and 30 Eastern right here on Fox. Grissom strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. And out for Petkaizik. Now Lemke off the plate. It's going to be tough. Petkaizik, forget it. Error. Headed for second is Lemke. Now heading for 3rd as Gallego has a tough time with it. He's there with 1 out. Into center field. Lemke tags. Jordan's throw. Forget it. 3-0 Atlanta. Now they appeal at 3rd and they call him out. It's 2-0 and that will end the inning. An appeal to 3rd and Bob Davidson rings him up. Lemke doesn't know he's been called out. Bobby Cox does. Take the run off the board. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
Bob Davidson just handed the Cardinals a gift run. This is a terrible call by Bob Davidson, the 3rd base umpire. This is not simulated. This is real action. Not even close.
It's funny because as the crowd reacts, watching it on television sets here, not on the scoreboard, Tony La Russa, and when the crowd made the reaction they did, Bob Davidson immediately looked up to the replay board to see if they showed it here.
Swayed Bob Davidson.
Sweeney pinch hitting for Gallego, lines to right, 1 out here in the 8th. Base hit left field for Clayton.
Some good concentration there by Royce Clayton, not only to battle Greg Maddux, but to battle the 50,000 points.
To the right side, base hit. Clayton will head to 3rd, and it's 1st and 3rd, 2 out of the 8th. The changeup grip and the 2nd hit of the night for McGee, and the tying runs are on Gant.
Well, you can see Maddux gripping that changeup. And with McGriff holding Clayton on first base, all Willie McGee had to do was hit a hard, keep it away from Mark Lemke, and that's exactly what he does. Dribbles it into right.
Only 3 hits in 5 innings, keeping his team in the game. Secondly, a run has been taken off the board on a call by the third base. Wild pitch. Here comes Clayton. Down to second is the tying run. It's a 2-1 game.
A slider right here. You can see he just pulls that.
Popped it up to left. Andrew Jones. Inning over. Bottom of the 8th. 2-2. 1 out. McGriff is gone, and tonight, line drive. Clayton can't make the play, and it's 3-1 Atlanta. Inning over, but not before the Braves add a run. Driven in by Belt. Ball game. Game 7 tomorrow night. Donovan Osborne pitching with full rest will be his opponent. Their postseason records. As that man, Francisco Cabrera, delivered until the Braves World Series win, one of the greatest moments in Atlanta Braves history. This line drive base hit into left field scored Sid Bream in the 1992 NLCS. The Braves won their second pennant and, of course, went on to the World Series. And Francisco Cabrera is on hand to throw out the first pitch here in Game 7 on the NLCS.
I doubt it. But, you know, yeah, you're right. I really want to win really bad. You know, yeah, I'm playing my former mates, but, you know, it's a situation that no matter who was out there, I want to win, and I want to win bad. It just happens to be Atlanta, and it makes it a little extra. It gives me that little extra boost and makes me concentrate.
Early keys to keep his emotions under control in the first and second inning. He does have a tendency to get wild early. The way the Cardinals play, filled with emotion. Tom Glavine, calm, cool, collected. You'd never know this was Game 7. Here we go. Royce Clayton leads it off. Ball 1. To the left side, Chipper Jones. A good first inning for Glavine. Cardinals go in order. Bottom of inning 9. Dmitri Young, his first career postseason start. He's a rookie, only 23 years old, just turned 23. And on the mound is the winner from Game 3, Donovan Osborne. And you can see the emotion right there. Totally opposite from Tom Glavine, his record for the season. And remember, the curveball, a vital pitch to get over early, and his fastball's in the strike zone until he can settle himself to advance him.
Here is Grissom, and there's a leadoff hit. Gonna swing down the line. Grissom heads for third. They hold Grissom at third on a double, and it's second and third. Nobody out.
Regroup a little bit.
To third, Gaetti holds Grissom. 1 out. Good play by Gary Gaetti. 4-time Gold Glove winner.
Gaetti playing even with the grass there in the event that Jones does decide to bunt. A lot of times at third base you don't really have time to do much else but take a step and a dive, and that's what Gaetti does right here.
That could be a huge play.
4 hits in this series. To the shortstop. Grissom is not breaking. Now he comes home to put the Braves on top. They have Lemke caught in the rundown. 2 out, and Atlanta out in front 1-0. Ball 4. And it's 2 on, 2 out for Jermaine Dye.
Javier Lopez. He missed with the curveball to Lopez. Knows with the two things, wildness early and getting his curveball
out in front by a run. 22-year-old Jermaine Dye, line drive, base hit, left field. Here's McGriff. Gant's throw, no good. 2-0 Atlanta. The Cardinals will not get out of this first inning with only one run crossing the plate. The entire infield.
A five-tool player.
2-0 to count. Base hit. 3-0 Atlanta. Andy Bennis getting ready for St. Louis. It's been a 3-run, 4-hit inning for the Braves. That'll load him up.
Bob, that looked like that running.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Into left field. Can't get it. That will empty the bases. Glavine heads for third. 6-0 Atlanta.
Another high fastball from Osborne. Gant makes a valiant effort, realizing that if he misses this ball, it's going to be a 6-0.
He could not get through the first. 6 runs, 5 hits, and a pitching change here in the first inning. Not what Donovan dreamed about last night. He's gone in the first. Braves up by 6.
The Cards suffered heartbreaking losses in games 5, 6, and 7. And a thrilling postseason ride had suddenly come to a crashing halt. A final note of solace came during Ozzy's last at-bat. The Wizard received a standing ovation, and he made that long last walk to the Cardinals dugout. Cards had pushed the defending world champs to a 7th game, only to lose 15-0. While the Braves celebrated, the Redbirds could only lament.
You know, a lot of tears around the clubhouse. You don't see men crying very often, but it really hurts when you know that you're really close to having the opportunity to play in the World Series. And so, but at the same time, we got beat by a better team, and so we'll be ready next year.
I know what it's like to win the World Series, and I know what it's like to to lose 100 games. And over 15 years, this is probably the most remarkable season that I've ever been involved with.
Fans greeted the players at the airport to give a sincere word of thanks. The Redbirds were once again a team to reckon with.
People will take notice of the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't think that people really took us too seriously this year, and I think we've proven to people that we have a lot of ways of winning ball games and a lot of weapons. One thing I want out of this is that the St. Louis Cardinals gain respect, and I think we've done that.
And with Manager of the Year Tony La Russa at the helm, the Cardinals are in great position to shoot for that pot of gold. As for 1996, well, it was baseball like it ought to be.
That is ripped, and that's his second of the night. It's up the middle. Base hit, and the Cardinals win it in 11. Cardinals came into this frame trailing 8-5, and they've scored 11. What a day.
And the Cardinals are 3.5 games ahead of Houston. What a come-from-behind win.
Swing and a high fly ball into left at the track. 99. Kiss me.
This city, Al, has fallen in love with this baseball.
from the St. Louis Cardinals, shortstop Ozzie Smith.
You made a play in San Diego. I was at this game. I was a little kid. I was how young I was. No.
Okay, all right.
Jeff Burrows hits the ball up the middle.
Right.
You dive, and as you're diving, take me through that play.
Okay. As I dove, the ball hit, and it hit a rock. So my glove hand was gone. So the only way that I could get the ball was to reach back with my bare hand while I was in midair. And I reached back, and the ball actually stuck in my hand, you know, and I was able to scramble to my feet and get up and throw them out. That was the play that most people remember me, that put me on the map as far as what I've been able to accomplish in my career.
This has been the year of the young shortstop. Baseball's going to a lot of young players. I'm going to throw some names at you. You tell me what you think about these guys. Alex Rodriguez in Seattle.
Strength, power of a Cal Ripken mold.
Ray Adonis in New York.
He has great baseball instincts, and I'm saying that those are things that cannot be taught.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he possesses, and
well,
you know,
what's shown you that? What have you seen?
The decision-making quick, being able to anticipate things that are going to happen out here.
What about Mark Grudzielanek in Montreal? Played with him in the All-Star game this year.
Right now, I see Mark as being more of an offensive player. He's a great offensive player. Still a little rough on the edges as far as defense is concerned, but I think his eagerness and his work habit will allow him to become much better.
Derek Jeter. And,
I haven't had a chance to see him play as much. I saw him play a little bit in spring training, but seems to have great range, a great arm, and most of the guys that are coming out now are much more offensive oriented. You know, they're bigger, they're stronger. So, you know, that's a little bit different than it was in years past.
Royce Clayton, he's taking over at shortstop here in St. Louis. You're watching him an awful lot. Where's he stack up in your mind?
As he gets older, he's going to become a much better offensive player. Right now, I think he's really trying to find himself from an offensive standpoint, but defensively, you know, he's got great hands, and his concentration and stuff is getting a lot better, and you know, I think that I'll be able to help him in a lot of ways.
Show us some of your fundamental things that you think are important that help you be consistent on a daily basis.
I played wall ball all the time. I worked on my short hops and my forehand and my backhand, developing that skill. So when I make the transition to the baseball field, what I do is I get a coach to hit the ball from a short distance. And what I do is I'd get on my knees and I do nothing but use my hands. He can hit the ball sharp as he'd like from about 25 feet. And what that does is just sharpens your hands and your hand and eye coordination.
So all you're doing is just picking it, basically,
right.
Huh?
All you're doing is you're taking your legs out of it, and you're working on the confidence in your hands, developing that hand and eye coordination, or the confidence that you need in your hands to be able to make that play. Because there are a lot of plays, and especially when I played on AstroTurf, there were a lot of plays that you had to do with one hand because you didn't have time to get in front of it.
What do you do with your legs?
Well, the legs are a very important part of it because that's what gets you in position to be able to throw to second base or throw to first base. So I develop drills now where I throw to the base without looking at the base, having a sense of where I am on the field at all times. Well, that's like going in the hole there and being able to throw the ball back this way without looking. And that's having a feel of where you are.
How long does it take you to get to learn another second baseman or in a situation?
It doesn't take me long at all. You know, the bottom line is learning where the guy likes the ball. My job is to get it there to him as consistently as I possibly can. And I've played with 45, maybe 50 second basemen in my career. So that's never been a problem for me. I make whatever adjustment it is that I have to make it comfortable for him out here.
What about from the second baseman feeding to you? Now, we've seen you come, make your jump throws, and you handle your feet so well around the bag.
Well, first of all, I tell him, you throw it, you get it close, I'll do the rest.
Do you think that we'll see another Ozzie Smith? switch hitting, agility, flipping, back flipping, flamboyant, making great plays, great strong arms, instincts, the whole package, really.
Time is what determines greatness. So we'll just have to see. You know, as I've said on many occasions, you know, anybody on any given day can come out here and make a great play. The thing that separates the good from the average or the good from the great is the degree of consistency with which you do what it is you do. And that's the one thing that I've always worked very hard at doing, is being very consistent at what I do, and I think I've accomplished that over 19 years.